Hi everyone, good morning, good evening, good afternoon. How are you? I hope that you hadn't thought too much about what we spoke yesterday, neither of what I wrote today. Joke. So I have to be sincere that me myself thought that starting Aquarius, we would be speaking about freedom, about detachment, about I don't know, networks. I never expected to start this month so in such a complicated way, but well, that's how it's coming. So I apologize in the name of my higher self, because he would never apologize for these complicated issues. So of course that in Aquarius, you never know what it's going to happen. It's all about innovation. It's all about surprises. So this is the way we started. So that's it. I don't know. That's what we got. So just to begin, I would like to say this, that the topics we are talking about, physics, quantics, and all that, I have no idea about it. It's not my things, my issues. So I am not really good in physics, in normal physics or quantic physics. I don't know. I've just explained what I know, what I can, what I can get or understand about this. But I won't give exactly all the answers that I can, because I can't. Okay, I don't have it. So if you are people that knows a lot of this and answers and so on, please share it in the comments or help other people to understand a little bit more about what we are explaining here. And I dare you to look for more information in many videos, in reading books, watching things. I don't know, asking to the people that knows a lot. Okay, so just this is the important thing, that I just explain what I know, what I remember, but I don't exactly know the topics. Okay, because I don't know much about biology. I don't know much about astronomy and science, and so look always for more answers and try to reach much information, because for sure it will be a lack of many information. So this is just trying to grab concepts. Okay, so here we are not to go into the specifics, so just to connect the dots, the ideas. So that's why, if you want to know the specifics, look for the people that studied and know about this. So for sure, you will know a lot of people to recommend here that knows better about these topics, so people can know and keep looking at it. CEPHEUS. It's so difficult in this month to say the topic, because it's only constellations or stars. So So it's so complicated to know exactly what is the topic that I have to explain. Today the topic is Cepheus, and this is one of the 5 or 6 constellations that are the ones related to the North Pole. So the northern stars are along these 5 or 6 constellations. So I will start to speak about many topics already given yesterday. So if you are new today watching this, I recommend you to watch the last video, the one that I did yesterday, so you get what I'm saying. So just for you to know who is Cepheus, why this constellation is called like this, is because of the mythology of Greek and Egyptian mythology about a king that was Cepheus of Ethiopia. And Ethiopia was bigger in that time, was not the country that you have today. It was a whole country that arrived until the part of Egypt, and also part of Arabia, Jordan, Palestine, Iraq, in the Euphrates river. So all this territory was under the kingdom of Cepheus, and basically he had a wife that was really, I don't know the word in English, that those people that says I am the best, not selfish, I don't know, like I am beautiful, I am even much more beautiful than the Nereides that are the daughters of the gods. So Dane, okay, thank you. Vanity, that's the word. She has a lot of vanity. So so because of her vanity, she was sent to kill. Zeus said, "That's good. That's not good. So kill her." So because of this, he creates a monster called Cetus, and Cetus was meant to kill her. But the priestess of Amon-Ra in Egypt tell the queen, "Hey, you can survive if you give your daughter to the monster." And his and her daughter was Andromeda, and so he sent to kill. The mother tied Andromeda in the sea so the monster could kill her. But here comes Perseus with the Medusa head and makes the monster into stones, and well, they punished the king and the queen and so on. So basically, for the Egyptian and the Greek people, this story was very important. For me, I don't know why, really, but it seems to be very important for them. So that's why they name a lot of constellations with this story. So you will find Perseus constellation, Andromeda, Pegasus also, because it's the horse he used, Cassiopeia, and Cepheus. Okay, so that's why when you start to study the heavens, you will see these constellations around. So all these people is in the heavens because of this story. So important detail about these stories, that we should not believe that the stories of the mythology, that they are telling the story of the stars, are related to the planets or what happened in the stars of that constellation. I mean, when we are from our point of view of humans, when we see the sky, we name the stars according to this to these stories that we have lived and what they seem to be and so on. But it's not related to what happens to what happens in the stars and the constellations and the planets. Okay, it's not related. So, for example, an example of this not relation between stars and constellation, from our point of view, is that, for example, Pleiades. Everyone knows Pleiades. Everyone feels like Pleiades is like this so beautiful and high vibration beings that are in other levels of consciousness, like the fifth dimension, seventh dimension, I don't know. So very spiritual, high level beings. But these stars are in Taurus constellation. Okay. And most of the people maybe don't know that Pleiades are in Taurus constellation. So Taurus is earth, is ground, is about wealth and stuff. So it's not related what the Pleiades means with what Taurus for us means. Okay, so Pleiades is in Taurus constellation from our point of view, but in reality, Pleiades is not related with the stars of Taurus. So just as an example. So let's see what Cepheus means for us. I will try to show it because it's a really big constellation. Okay. So this is the circle, the turn that the axis of the planet follows when it makes the turn of 26,000 years. Okay. So now this is Polaris. So we are here right now, pointing to this star here. So I will try to divide the territories of these stars. So we divide here the territories of the constellations that will affect, and here we have the constellation of Ursa Minor, Cepheus, Cygnus, Lyra, Hercules, and Draco. And this is the whole territory of Cepheus constellation. So approximately for 8,000 years, the North Pole will be pointing to the stars of the Cepheus constellation. What this means, that throughout all this process of 8,000 years, the axis of the planet will be Cepheus. And this means that any information that comes to our world will be through Cepheus. So during the process of these 8,000 years of Cepheus being the northern star, the many stars of Cepheus being the northern stars, is when the ancient civilizations of the great ancient first human civilizations, star civilizations on Earth, like Lemuria, like Atlantis, they started to be created, not as a proper civilization, but they started to be designed. So during the process of 8,000 years of Cepheus is when the cosmic or the star civilizations were brought here on this planet. So now the question would be how and why. So I hope now you get why the topic for today is Cepheus. And from Cepheus. Now let's go to what was happening in the whole galaxy. Remember that if this is the galaxy, we are here. So remember that if this is the solar system, here we have Sirius, we have Pleiades, we have here the stars of Orion, Arcturus. So all of them are inside this circle. Okay. So mainly all the beings, all the alien beings with whom we are going to have contact with are inside this circle of the galaxy. So when we are going to speak about aliens, we are going to locate them all in this circle. Okay. All of these different beings live in different planets. So remember that, as we spoke yesterday, we are all separated in different constellations by light years. So it is very far away. All is very separated, because if each one of these planets are in different constellations, Orion, Lyra, Arcturus, Sirius, it's difficult in a physical way to go to those places. So remember that the reason why it's so difficult to move from one galaxy to the other is because we are in the third dimension. And what is the third dimension? That has 3 dimensions: height, wide, and depth. So this trinity of the third dimension is the one that shapes the structure of the atoms, so the matter. So this is why the matter can only move in the structures of the 3 dimensions, and the matter is the one creating the physics. So that's why anything that I will create through the structure of the atoms will be based on the laws of the physics. Now, what happened? That the physics exists only in this reality, in this structure. It doesn't exist within this structure. So according to the physics, if we use this structure and we are someone from Sirius trying to fly to Orion, you will have to use the law of physics in order to travel from one spot to another. So this guy will have to use this kind of ship, okay, to go from one spot to another. So this is a finger ship and this is the carrot ship. So I'm not good drawing spaceships, as you see. So yes. So remember how these particles are created. These particles are the conjunction of many tiny things that are like strings vibrating constantly, making sound. So basically they are waves that are vibrating so high that they start to get like to all together by polarity. So these strings that are waves of vibration, they're vibrating so high that creates this energy, this polarity. making the idea of the structure of energy. And this structure of energy creates these particles. So basically, the particles of the 3D are not real. They are just a projection, a perception of the vibration of these strings. So this is why the third dimension doesn't really exist. The third dimension is just a perception of a vibration that is projecting as a hologram. So what is a hologram? Hologram comes from the word holon, that means everything, whole. That's the origin of whole, the everything. And gramma, that means letters. So all the letters are together. That's a hologram. So because these strings are vibrating so much, depending on how they vibrate, they will be expressed in one or other reality. So when they start to vibrate in a specific harmony, they create the particles that create atoms and molecules and so on. So depending on the vibration of this atom, this reality will be expressed in the third dimension, the fourth dimension, the fifth dimension, but it's the same atom. So why are we multidimensional beings? We are multidimensional beings not because there is one atom in the third dimension and there is another kind of atom in the fourth dimension and another kind of atom in the fifth dimension. It's basically because the same atom, according to its vibration, will be in one dimension or another. That's why we are multidimensional. So when this atom in the third dimension is stuck in a pattern of vibration, that means that this atom will be trapped in the laws of the physics, in the thermodynamics, in the laws of the space. So for this atom to move, we'll need tools from the third dimension. I don't know if you have heard this before, that sometimes the particles, these particles, the electron, the proton, they can vibrate so fast that they can move towards the future and come back to the past all the time. So while we are built by the laws of physics of these same atoms are stuck in this reality, this same structure of this reality are able to be free and move through time and space. And remember, this atom is the same atom in the past, the present, and the future, in any dimension, in any space. So this atom is vibrating low, this one is vibrating in harmony, and this one other is vibrating very high. So if this particle here starts to vibrate really fast, immediately pop, becomes this one. And then comes back. And remember, this one here is not going there. it becomes there, multidimensional. So imagine that here we have this little human that builds this carrot spaceship. It's a carrot spaceship because I'm not good drawing technology, so it's a carrot spaceship. So this carrot spaceship has to go light years ahead to reach this one here. It's equal. It has to move through the space until it changes its vibration. But this one here, the Syrian guy with this little head, he says, what if instead of building this carrot, I create my technology to become there, not to go there, but to become there? You understand how is the difference between travel from one place to another and becoming the place? So one of the things that this alien did was of traveling. What if I become every one of my own atoms and vibrate exactly as they vibrate, and I start to bend the structure of space and time, opening a portal that we call a wormhole, yes, to the other side in another vibration. What happened is that I'm going to bend time and space. And when I bend time and space, I recognize that all the structures become me. This is the Merkaba, when the being becomes its own energy. Átomo. And this must spin really fast as an atom. Is exactly like an atom. So through the intention, this being takes the minimum structure of its own self that vibrates really fast and creates a machine able to do the same. And this is why we usually see the spaceships like that. So now you see the difference. Why a UFO like this? 3D, 5D. Okay. So it's not that easy, because in order for an atom in Sirius to come into the Earth, must find the right frequency. And this depends on the level of consciousness. So the consciousness is the key for these atoms to align themselves. So in order to get that, the planet have to have the same amount of consciousness, or the right amount of consciousness, to vibrate so Sirius or other worlds could hear it. Because remember that 26,000 years ago, the humans started to recognize the I am. So that's why the planet starts to vibrate high. And that made that in the network of planets, when a planet starts to rise its frequency, the other planets, like in a spider web, they can feel it. So when the planet starts to rise the consciousness and they start to communicate each other in the same amount of consciousness, they start to look for a way to maintain the harmony in between all of them, so they can be in touch, travel, and communicate and be as one. This is what we used to call the Galactic Confederation. So a confederation comes from the word con, that means all of them together, and federation, that means a treaty to maintain all of them in the same harmony. So this is why the confederation exists, because they are looking for harmony in between all of them because of the vibration. But if a planet is not in the same vibration of them, they cannot be in touch straight to that planet. So that's why in the period of consciousness of the world, they accomplished to build the machines to connect from one world to another interdimensionally, and that are the pyramids. So because we are not in a process of consciousness, this means that they cannot be in touch with us. So remember that most of them are not here physically. They come here as a hologram. So they are in other planets, in other worlds, but they project themselves by the vibration of the atoms as a hologram here. Remember that every atom is the same atom in the whole universe. So just by using that consciousness, this knowledge, they can be here even if they are not really here. That's why some people can see them, but they are not physically here. And when we are not in consciousness, but we are unconscious, that means that many other beings can take benefit from us. And this is why when the door of Cepheus in this planet was open, the first one in arriving were the gray ones and the Anunnaki. And probably this will be for tomorrow. For the people that may say, no, this was not like this, or you didn't explain that, or whatever, I will just say this is the second day of 30. I will just say that. So all of this to explain how these beings from other planets have come to the planet when the door of Cepheus was open. So let's go to the information for today. The vibration for today is Ya. The statement for today is I am the word of clarity. The statement for today is really precise for being in Mercury retrograde. So the most complicated topics with Mercury retrograde. The quote for today is water in the liquid state. The trying aspect of water is liquid. That corresponds to the condensation of the spirit to conform the energetic memory of conductor of the cosmos, what humans call soul. It has the aspect of a flux, the flow of the element water that gives life, that lives through time and space, sharing its being to become every living entity without any judgment, incorporating all this possible data and without any fear of transforming itself. So let's go to the alignment. We sit comfortable and close your eyes. I focus in my breathing, paying attention to my body and recognizing the environment that I find myself in. As I perceive my environment as a deep space, dark, using my imagination to design this space around me, I think of myself as the planet Earth, surrounded by a space full with stars. Above my body, in the north, I find the northern stars, and moving slowly, I allow my axis to find the stars of Cepheus constellation. I recognize that these stars are the doors from where the information of the stars and the galaxy came to me, allowing me to become the civilizations of the stars here on Earth. I take a deep breath, opening myself to the words of all these planets around, and I recognize the vibration of myself expanding in a network, in a web that is connected from my body towards the stars and the planets in every direction from me. I perceive how this web of strings are like an instrument, like a harp, and that if I play it properly, all my brothers and sisters from the stars can hear me. I allow myself to play with these strings, touching them, making them sound, and allowing myself to perceive the words, the images of the planets I am connected to. I allow myself to play with the strings, to feel each one of these stars, to perceive which one of them is calling me. Where are my brothers and sisters, my cosmic family, from where I come from? Sirius, Betelgeuse, Arcturus, Vega, Polaris, Draco, Alcyone, Mintaka. As much consciousness I have, my word will be heard with much more clarity. I am the word of clarity. I am the word of clarity. I am the word of clarity. I know, I know, I know. Take a deep breath. Very softly, I start to bring this consciousness all around my body, caressing, stretching, and yawning, coming back here and now. Thank you, everybody, for being there. And as always, see you tomorrow at the same time.